Happy Valentine's Day. Get ready with me while I share how me and my boyfriend met, and I'm just gonna brag about him for a little bit. So my boyfriend Marcos and I have been together for almost 3 years now. So right after the lockdown, when socials started, my studio, Sets of Kings, and a few others from Miami, we threw these weekly socials in Coral Gables. My boyfriend at the time had never taken any salsa classes before. He took his very first salsa class at a local salsa school. And it just so happened to be the day of our socials launch. So of course, all the students were like, oh my gosh, you have to come out tonight. There's this new social, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So of course he goes, and he immediately is kind of overwhelmed. So he decided just to chill in the corner and just observe and take everything in. Meanwhile, this social is packed. This is our first night and it was such an amazing launch. There were so many dancers there. So, you know, naturally, I'm doing my thing. I am dancing all over this club. I am living. I am so excited. I am celebrating. Everyone is super happy that we're finally out of this stupid lockdown. We're able to dance. We're able to have fun. So I don't see my boyfriend yet at this point. But apparently he saw me with a face mask and all. Your girl caught his attention. He said he was so intrigued by me that he was like, okay, there's a lot going on tonight. I'm gonna come back next week and I'm gonna go talk to her. And what did this man do? He came back. He came back the next week. But this time I noticed him. Picture this. You walk into the social, there's this really hot guy sitting at the bar by himself, sipping on a glass of wine, eating a steak, and just being mysterious. Mind you, this is my social. I'm a part of the scene. I can confidently say I recognize majority of the dancers within the scene at this point. I did not recognize him, and that caught my attention. I'm like, okay, he's not part of our scene. Who is he? He's cute. So someone asked me to dance close to where he was sitting at the bar. So, you know, I'm doing my thing. In my world, I'm like, oh, he's definitely gonna notice me. I was like, if he's a dancer, he'll for sure ask me to dance after this. So as the social's progressing, more people are getting there. Somehow, some way, I end up standing right next to him. That may or may not have been intentional. We're just vibing right next to each other. And then all of a sudden, he turns to me and he goes, it makes me laugh still. He turns to me and goes, can you teach me how to dance? I can see the regret as soon as he said it. He was like, no. I was so nervous that I turned into teacher mode. Bitch, I started teaching him his basic step. I'm like, okay, yeah, so you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Girl, he didn't wanna learn how to dance. He goes, oh, I meant together. Girl, he wasn't trying to learn. He was just trying to ask me to dance. I was like, oh, okay. And then we went off. So there we are, just vibing. We danced 2 salsas back to back, and it was so great. We're having a good time. The sparks are flying. There's this one dancer that kept trying to get my attention during my dance with him that was like, hey, next. And after the first dance, he did that. We danced a second one together and he kept doing that behind Marcos's back. He was like, hey, next one, I wanna dance with you. I was like, okay, this is still social. I still need to dance with other people. I was like, after this dance, I'm gonna go ahead and dance with that one guy that was so freaking annoying, but I'll dance with him, I'll mingle, and then I'll find my way back and then we'll keep talking. Marcos at the time didn't know the dancer culture, how it's normal for, you know, everyone to dance with each other. It's just the nature of these socials. And whenever we finished our dance and I went to go dance with the other guy that had been like impatiently waiting, he took that as a, oh, she's not interested in me. And he left. I didn't know his name. I didn't get any information. So I was like, okay, that's great. Side note, I had literally that week made a pact with myself saying that I was gonna be single for the rest of the year. My birthday had just passed. This is in January 2021. I was like, I'm going to be single for this entire year. I'm gonna give myself that. When he left, I was like, okay, this is a sign. Just don't worry about it. You already told yourself you didn't want a relationship. Why are you stressing? It's fine. It's fine. The second week comes around and I'm running late to the social. When I finally get there and walk in, who do you think is right there in the middle of the dance floor, just having the time of their lives? You guessed it, Marcos. He had his hoodie, had his black leather jacket, he was in the center. He was just having a blast. And then as soon as I pull up, he turns around, he's like, hey. I'm like, hey. And we start dancing, we're having a great time, we're vibing. And then finally he's like, hey, can I get your number? And I was like, sure. We text for a little bit, we go on a date, and the rest is history. The moral of the story here is, if he wanted to, he would. This man pursued me for 3 weeks. He saw me the first week, which I didn't see him. The second week, we danced, we vibed, and the third week, he asked me for my number. The biggest thing that I've learned within my relationship with Marcos is, if the clarity isn't there, if you're ever doubting if someone likes you or doubting how they feel about you, that is just the biggest red flag to me. For the first time in my life, I truly knew and felt someone's good intentions about me. I can tell that he really did like me, that he really was interested in me. There were no games. There was none of the, oh, I'm gonna act interested today, but then tomorrow I'm gonna lay off and I'm gonna wait for her. No, like, it was none of that. I have learned so much in this relationship with Marcos. I have learned what love is and what love is not. And for the majority of my life and all the relationships I've been in, no relationship has ever compared to this one. The genuine love that this man has for me and genuinely shows me every single day is unmatched. And I have learned that clarity is everything, consistency is everything, and just truly sticking to what your values are and honestly not accepting less. And although I set that pact with myself where I wasn't gonna be in a relationship, like I was gonna be single, I simply did that because I kept falling into these relationships that just weren't aligned for me. I kept finding myself over and over and over again in these situations where I just wasn't receiving what I believed I deserved. And it was getting to a point where I no longer believed that I deserved those things. Do I continue to settle for less because I don't believe in myself that I deserve these things? Because it's impossible that a human being isn't capable of doing these things. I know, because I know that I can do them for someone. So why can't I find someone that's willing to do it for me? And then the universe was like, what? Oh, you want this, and it was a long list of things that you want in a man and in a relationship. Marcos. The moral of the story is, don't settle. Be so clear as to what you want and what you don't want in a relationship and in a partner. I promise you that there is someone out there that checks all the boxes. Before I met him, I created in my phone a note of all of the qualities that I would want in my next partner, like my serious, lifelong partner, which is what I've always been searching for. Fast forward, we were already in a relationship and I remembered about this list. I went back and I looked at the list and he literally checked off every single one. It's beautiful how life works out, and sometimes it feels like it's just never gonna happen to us. And sometimes it takes us, going through a few heartbreaks and turning 28 years old to find the love of your life. So don't give up. The moment where I loved myself the most, the moment where I was like, okay, I'm dating myself. I am no longer searching for anybody. I'm going to give myself all of the things. So I truly believe that when you vibrate at a high level and you truly treat yourself and love yourself the way that you know you deserve, you're just going to attract someone that's going to love you that same way and even more. But it has to start with you. Otherwise, in my experience, it just doesn't work. Love you, love yourself, and your perfect partner will show up whenever they're meant to. All right, I'm done being wishy-gushy. I just love my man so much, and I'm so grateful for him. I love love, so just wishing you the same.